Hi, I'm Lanny, and this is Preserving Today, a Greener Postures project. Today I'm going to share with you a new skill that I'm learning. This may seem old hat to some of you, as sourdough has been popular for years and years and years, but even more so came into the forefront of things in 2020 during the people were stuck at home and they wanted to learn how to do something in their kitchen. And I think that is a really good thing. No surprise to anyone who knows me, I resist certain things that might seem like an obvious good match for me. I don't know why that happens, but sometimes I just turn away from something that everyone else thinks I should be doing based on the other things that I enjoy. Sourdough is one of those. I've been fermenting for years and years and years and love it so much. Well, the obvious next choice would be that I would be fermenting grain of some sort, but I didn't find that to be interesting to me in a way that I could learn until recently. So in January, I started a sourdough starter. I really wanted to see this process from the very beginning and not take a starter on from someone else. It was sluggish for a while and I watched it. I thought I killed it for a minute. I almost started over, and then finally, at the end of the month, things were really doing what I was expecting them to, with a consistent rise and fall every 24 hours, peak at 12 hours and fall again by 24. So the very end of January, I started my first batch of dough. I baked for my first time on February 1st. For the entire month of February, I did something with sourdough every day. Starting dough, stretching dough, shaping dough, scoring, and baking. I experimented with many different recipes, many different hydration levels, many different types of flours, einkorn, all-purpose, whole wheat, different ratios between wheat and white, bread flour. I also experimented with different methods, fermentation times, bulk fermenting in the fridge or bulk fermenting on the counter. I took pictures of most of my loaves, the exterior and the interior, and thought about what I had done to get to that point. And by the end of February, I had settled on my favorite recipe, which is a 70% hydration dough, and I settled on my bulk ferment times and methods. I started to get to know my dough so I could work intuitively instead of relying on the clock. I could look at my dough and say, I have developed enough gluten and now it's time to bulk ferment. Whereas at the beginning, I was just following directions that I found from videos or recipes online. So I'm not here to teach you how to make sourdough because I really feel like I'm still learning and I'm going to be for a long time. There are so many nuances to this, so many tiny details, so many variables to come to the product that you're looking for. I will say, however, it's been extremely fun not only learning to bake the loaf of bread, but all the different things that you can do with the sourdough starter discard. I made crackers, muffins, waffles, pancakes, bagels, soft pretzels, tortillas, pizza crust, and that's just to name a few. I can't even think of all of it. I didn't want to waste anything, so I was trying not to throw away any of the starter. So we had way too much bread for the month of February, and the oven was running all the time. It was great. A lot of these items I've baked before, but I've never used my own yeast to start it, and so that felt really amazing and gave it a different flavor than you get with commercial yeast. So if you haven't tried sourdough and you feel like you want to get started, I'd say just jump in, pick a recipe, follow it, pay attention, and keep trying to switch things up until you get your results that you are looking for. Looking at this linear slideshow, I'm reflecting on what I've learned in the month of February and what I'm doing moving forward. I'm no longer baking every day. I'm just making bread once a week. I feel like I'm making my bread intuitively now. I'm no longer looking to a recipe at all. I have my measurements and my timing memorized. I found that's what I need to keep something a routine in my kitchen, is to make it so I understand it in a way where I don't need to think about what I'm doing and I just move forward. I also find it important to revisit things that I feel I know well. I'm so glad I was so repetitive with this process for that period of time, because I learned so much from doing that over and over and over again while I still remembered well what I had done the day before. So I know how I like to make sourdough now, but I know a year from now, if I make it every week, I'm gonna know much more than I do today. And I always need to keep revisiting that and learning things from others anytime I have the chance. In the description of this video, I'm gonna put links to all the other videos that I watched to get started on sourdough, including the videos that I watched about getting my starter going, and some recipes that I tried to use up that sourdough discard. Thanks for watching. I'm Lanny, and this was Preserving Today.